happy to have Tremaine Nugent with us again, talking all things health and wellness. Today, it's not as fun, but it's very important. Right. We're talking about mold, how sick it can make you, what we can do to get out of that. Yep. This is personal experience that was really tough. You turned it into a silver lining, but give us some background.
So our house that was on MTV Cribs was contaminated with mold, toxic mold between the walls. We never saw anything. Mm-hmm. I just kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and finally became my own investigative sleuth. Mm-hmm. And we demolished the house and rebuilt it, but I still had residual health problems. Mm-hmm. So I decided to make a documentary about the steps that I went through to discover the problem and what I did to remediate myself, my health, and my family's health through alternative remedies, not covering up the problem with prescription drugs. Yeah. You know, doing things like infrared sauna, vitamin IV, mm-hmm. and oxygen. And now we're building a clean, green home that is going to be free from toxins that a lot of people don't really consider that can cause headaches, flu-like symptoms, upper respiratory mm-hmm. illnesses, and even cancer. What are the combinations that can lead to this environment in a home? You were saying it takes a few different things to be like a breeding ground for it. So a lot of people say, well, it depends, where was your home? Was it in Florida or someplace humid? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Mm. It doesn't matter. We're talking about inside the four walls, mm-hmm. inside your home. If you have a porous substance like sheetrock or drywall, they call it, depending on geography. If you have sheetrock, you have water infiltration and a lack of ventilation. Within 48 hours, you're going to have mold. Mm-hmm. So if you don't address that problem and you have a slow leak constantly, that mold can develop into something that's horrendous and that has even been known to kill. Mm-hmm. The actress Brittany Murphy died from mm-hmm. flu-like symptoms, but it was absolutely determined that she had mold in her body. And my husband and I had 4 different types of mold in our bloodstream. So yeah, this is real. Scary. It was scary. I lost about a year of my life. Yeah. So now I'm on a mission from God to educate people and inspire them to live healthy. Absolutely. I think we have some sound that we'd like to go to from the doctor.
That are created by mold that we call mycotoxins that are directly toxic to the human body. People have long-term issues after they've been exposed that relate to their exposure in the first place. When we think of all of the problems that are related to chronic inflammation, we're talking about the #1 cause of death on planet Earth, according to the World Health Organization.
Being someone who had cultivated plenty of health and wellness during her life, all of a sudden completely unable to.
So this is your project that
yes.
you're working on.
Yep.
Tell us about that, how it's going to help people, and where we can start to watch this.
Every day, I get emotional just watching it. Every day I get messages from people asking me, begging me, because I know what it's like. I had such debilitating migraines that I had to be hospitalized. Who knows what kind of drugs I had, and I was popping migraine medication like candy, and I don't want people to have to go through that. So,
well, and psychologically so damaging, because if you can't figure out what it is but you feel bad, sometimes even a doctor will say, drink some water, you're going to be fine. But it's
I had a doctor tell me, I'm not kidding you, I had a doctor tell me, maybe you're too healthy. Maybe you should go eat fast food. Yeah. So I'm putting everything together.
You start to feel crazy.
Yes, you do. And then they say, well, are you depressed? Well, yeah, I don't feel good, so I am depressed. It's just a vicious cycle. So I'm putting this documentary together, and this is a sizzle reel that you just saw, and it'll be aired, the sizzle reel will be aired at the Faith and Family Film Festival in Waco on February 8th.
That's Saturday.
At the Baylor Law School, and I'll be there to answer questions, to do a Q&A if anybody has more questions about it.
You're awesome. We love having you.
I want to join you guys, as we spoke earlier before the show that I've had somebody exposed to that as well, so it's a serious thing. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll continue to cover this as well. For more information, go to our website, fox44news.com. You can binge watch this show, and you can watch this segment all over again. Until next time, goodbye, God bless, we'll see you.
Bye, y'all.